Welcome back to the Zone Collectibles and More. Today's video is episode number 4 in our Q&A series titled, Does the Zone Carry CCGs and TCGs? The short answer is yes, we do. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. We do carry all sorts of card games. Some are customizable card games that require you to build a deck out of random cards or purchase pre-constructed decks to play. While others are just pre-built deck versus pre-built deck battling systems. There are yet others that require pre-built decks, but allow you to change up a few things by adding special cards to customize your deck as your skills grow. You will find the following here at the Zone. Pokemon singles, always. Booster packs from time to time depending on release dates. Yu-Gi-Oh singles and pre-constructed decks, always. And again, booster packs depending on release dates. We carry Dragon Ball Z, pre-constructed decks and boosters. Plus Dragon Ball Super, special edition sets. DC deck building games such as Rivals, Batman vs. Joker, and Spyfall. We carry starters and boosters for the Marvel and DC Versus system, Nightmare Before Christmas, the classic sci-fi card game Wars, if you all are from that Decipher fans era, and Star Wars Attack of the Clones, plus X-Files, just to name a few. But we do not carry Magic the Gathering. It's not that I don't like Magic or we have nothing against it. This was just a choice we had to make when we first arrived in South Georgia. In 2005, we relocated to Georgia from the Vegas area. Back in the early to mid-90s, when I lived in Arizona, I loved working the night shift. This gave me a lot of time during the day to hunt for items that were not easily found in my area. With Vegas only being an hour away and Phoenix, Arizona, less than 4 hours away, I found myself taking on the role of personal shopper for a lot of folks. And I also kind of became a product locator for shops, local shops, who just could not find what they were looking for due to distribution problems. It also helped that I had come from the East Coast, the Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana area, where I still had lots of friends in the hobbies and collectibles community. So in 1993, when people outside of the mainstream started looking for Magic the Gathering, and due to the issues with product distribution they had, I took full advantage of this situation. If someone had me look for, let's say, 2 boxes, I would always buy at least one for myself and put it up. I did this with Magic the Gathering from the Alpha in 93 all the way through Homelands in, I think it was 1995. I had managed to build up a very nice inventory for myself while building a reputation as that guy who could find almost anything. I never did open my product. Something in the back of my mind just told me that if all of these people are crazy for such a new game this early in production, this just might be something that will be worth something someday. I just stored them and waited. This brings us back to the move to South Georgia in 2005. We decided that we were going to open up Stargraves, a comic collectible store, with gaming on the side. It was at that time, after looking at the 2 most popular card games, we decided that for us being new to Fitzgerald, Georgia, and the South in general, Yu-Gi-Oh was going to be the better fit for us. This was a business decision, no more, no less. Here in the South at that time, it was just easier to explain Yu-Gi-Oh as a card game based on an animated series. Parents here were cool with that. If I would have tried to explain Magic the Gathering as a card game where you play a sorcerer and cast spells to defeat your opponents, well, you can just imagine how that would have gone over. Back then, D&D did not go over real well here either. So the decision was made that even though we had the inventory of vintage and classic Magic and had a pipeline for new products, we would just pack it up and put it in storage for another day. Now, back then we held tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh! And my wife even became an official judge so that our shop events would be sanctioned. In the long run, this was the best decision for us, local players, and for our relationship with Fitzgerald in general. Which brings us up to now. When we first opened up the Zone here in Tifton, Georgia, there was already a local shop here and had been here for going on 2 decades. They carried mostly new comics with some back issues, Warhammer 40K, lots of Magic the Gathering, and other more current collectibles you can find in shops like that, which was cool. We talked to that shop and let them know our intentions. First off, in a war, the only people who win are the ones selling the bullets. So we had an understanding that we would stick to more vintage comics and they would carry the new books. We would service the RPG, D&D community while they would deal mostly with Warhammer 40K. And when it came to the CCG and TCG market, they would service the Magic the Gathering community with singles, boosters, and boxes, while we would carry Yu-Gi-Oh! Starter decks and boosters along with Pokemon singles. Also, when it came to the newer product, they would carry the newer toys. We would deal with the more vintage collectible aspect. Between both shops, we had created an alliance that served our community of players and collectors very well. We co-hosted a collectible show with each other and even talked about a Magic/Yu-Gi-Oh! Co-branded card tournament. Sadly, due to circumstances beyond their control, they went out of business last year and had to close the main store they had in Albany this year. But hope springs eternal. We are working on a few things, and as we know more, this will be a video for another day. Another thing is, with the advent that wasn't there back in the day with eBay and Amazon and the big box stores all carrying Magic, in the way the current distribution is set up, I don't have the history with the newer Magic cards. I couldn't inform the players as well as I can, or my wife can, with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. So we just decided that it was a better fit for us to not carry Magic. But if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss anything that happens here at the Zone. We would love to hear from you and are looking forward to your comments and thoughts. Thank you for taking the time to check out our videos. This has been me, Kevin, the resident RM, here at the Zone, signing off. Over for now, but never ever out. Have a great day, and let's keep those fandom flags flying, y'all.